Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Martine the Naturopath here. Today I'm going to be answering a question from one of my viewers on how to better separate work life from home life. So this is a particularly relevant topic for those of you who are working at home, which is, I suppose, a lot of people since the pandemic situation. And it can be quite a difficult transition for a lot of people who are not used to it. And while working from home has a lot of perks, for sure, it can actually be detrimental in some ways. So without further ado, let me get into it. For starters, I'm going to nerd out a little bit on psychology on you guys. Sorry, bear with me. I'm going to talk about your brains for a sec here. So our brains love to build associations. In fact, they're really great at building associations. It's one of the ways that we learn. And because it's one of the ways we learn, we need to use that and nurture that natural ability to build associations to our benefit. So what am I talking about? What is this? Why is this relevant here? Well, for starters, it's really important that if you're going to start working from home, to dedicate a space in your home that is purely going to be used for work. So if you have a little office in your corner, or you just have a little corner that you dedicate for your work, that's going to be the only thing that you do in this corner. So that means you cannot go on Facebook on your breaks, don't browse Netflix or Instagram or what have you not. This space is purely going to be dedicated for when you're ready to sit down and focus and get some work done. So why is this important is that it trains your brain to know that when you're in this space, you're ready to focus. And this happens over time. It's not going to be overnight. It takes repetition and consistency. So you need to do this every day when you're working, and you can't goof off and browse other things. And over time, your subconscious is going to pick up that the moment you step into that office, that home office, or that corner, your brain picks up, okay, now it's time to work. All right, so that's number one. And these associations can be applied in different senses. It can even be applied to your clothing. So although it is super tempting to start wearing your PJs or a onesie or whatever when you're working from home, this too can be detrimental. Why? Because things like your PJs already have an association built into them, because your PJs you typically wear to sleep, right? So when you put your PJs on, your body kind of already knows that it's gonna be probably going to bed, or if not, at the very least, it's probably just gonna be lounging around, not doing too much productive. So, which is not great when you're trying to work, right? You want to have your full focus. So here I'd suggest actually putting on some clothes that you would wear to work. Now I'm not saying you have to, wear something super uncomfortable in a three-piece suit or whatever. Just wear something that you would wear if you were going out into the world, that maybe be appropriate for work. Uh, this way, again, it's just an association so that you're, it really helps to think, I'm actually going to work now, rather than I'm going to sit on the sofa in my PJs and maybe get some work done. That's where the difference is. It's a little bit working on your productivity as well. The next point that I want to bring up is routines. So routines are super important for a lot of reasons, but today we're just going to focus on why they're important for your work and separating your work life. So for one, I've had a few clients where this has happened when they started working from home and they didn't have a set schedule. It kind of threw their whole world upside down, because they would start later and then they'd stop halfway and then go do laundry, and then they'd end up working until 10 o'clock at night, and then they'd go to sleep at 1 in the morning, and it really messed up their whole schedule. So we really want to avoid that, right? So if you don't already have an imposed schedule from your boss, from your employer, I strongly suggest to give yourself some imposed work hours. So for this example, let's say that you're going to work with a 9 to 5, your typical work day. So that means that at every day you're still going to be waking up at your usual time, having breakfast at your usual time, and then starting work at 9. So you can't really use any excuses for being late to work. You're at home. So start work at 9. Take your breaks at your regular times that you would if you get breaks. Hopefully you get breaks. And when you do take your breaks, that will be the time to get up out of your office to go do what you need to do. Whether it's, bathroom break, go get some water, tea, snack, whatever. And then when you're ready to come back to work, then come back into your office. And this is just going to be important to stick to that routine and make sure that you're not stretching into long, odd hours and then inevitably delaying your sleep later on. So you have your breaks, your lunch break at your regular time. Again, don't eat in your office space. It's better if you really leave your office space, go eat in your kitchen, and then come back once you're done. But really time it to your regular lunch break. So if you usually have an hour, dedicate an hour to it and then come back. Don't delay and then, I'm just going to watch a Netflix show and I'll start afterwards. Because again, it's going to stretch your day longer and that's no good. And so then you come to 5 p.m., you're done work. Yes. What do you do now? Now is the time that you want to disconnect from work. So normally people have that commute after work to disconnect before they get home. But because you're already home, people can have a bit of difficulty stopping their work. They're like, oh, we'll just continue. No, you're done. At 5 p.m., that's it. So again, what do? You leave your office space, and now the first thing you should do, unless you have to take care of basic needs, the first thing that you want to do is you want to do something that makes you smile and not think about work. So obviously this is going to look different for everyone. What I like to suggest is sometimes going for a walk outside, because for one, that gets you a little bit of fresh air and exercise and can kind of mimic that commute and clear your mind. Otherwise, some people would prefer to just head into a workout after work to get a little bit of the juices flowing, gets your mind off of it. Or, some people prefer something more low-key like meditation. Or even just, having a dance party in your living room if that's what you're into. That's the time to do what you want to do. Prepare supper, whatnot. And you're going to want to continue this after you have your supper as well, except you want to choose an activity that's a little bit more calm and winding down. And most importantly, avoiding the screen, because if you're working from home, this most likely means that you're working on the computer. So for one, you want to limit how many hours you spend on the screen because of this. And but not only that, having that blue screen light can actually affect your sleep cycle. So for the last 2 hours before bed, really try to find another activity that is not in front of a screen. And that's really relaxing and can start your winding down process. This can be anything like reading, doing a little puzzle, drawing, meditation, light stretches. Again, it's going to be different for everyone. So that brings us pretty much to the end of this video. I hope this was useful to you. If you enjoyed the video, please show me some love. If you have comments or if you have suggestions as to what you want to hear in the next video, please drop it in the comments below. And I will see you next time for more. Bye guys, take care.